Yeah. What is your reaction about what has been happening in the country? We're hearing now that there had actually been some action in the borders of Mozambique where South African trucks were stoned. This is starting now to actually filter through to beyond the borders of South Africa now.
Surely these attacks are disturbing all, law-abiding citizens of South Africa. It is disturbing because it has got a potential to pose a continental, civil war of some sort, which might even, go to the global, areas. Bear in mind, when the First World War happened in a similar way, when somebody was killed out of, negligence and criminal activities, but at the end of the day, the whole world was, involved in this. Therefore, we are feeling if we don't, find this correctly soon, it might spark a serious challenge for the whole of the continent, and we may regret at a later stage, all of us.
This is going to have a backlash on South African businesses abroad and in other countries. We are hearing that some organizations have given the South African government an ultimatum that they must deal with xenophobic attacks, or they're going to start protesting South African businesses, and they will also attack other South Africans who are abroad.
It is unfortunate that as we are talking now, South Africa have occupied the international, topic on a wrong reasons. We were not supposed to be where we are. But like I'm saying, this issue, it's going to affect every corner of sphere of life. There's no corner that will left unattended to the social economic.
And the worry is many people now may generalize and have stereotypes that South Africans are xenophobic. Even us, you and I sitting here, will be regarded as people who hate foreigners.
Of course, it has got that potential to say, as South African, all of us, we have been, labeled to become part of the xenophobic, that we do know that all of us, we are not part of, and we will not want to practice any form of xenophobic in our lifetime. And we want to say, from CONTRALESA perspective, the fact that today finally King of the Zulu also find it, space in himself to outline what exactly he was saying, it will also help to make sure that nobody will hide behind anyone and said, I'm doing this because the king have said this and that. It should remain to be seen as a criminal activities that need to be, all those people must be arrested and face the all might of the law in South Africa without any favor or fear.
I managed to listen to the speech of King Goodwill Zwelithini. Why do you think he was misconstrued? Why do you think that after raising concerns about certain aspects of foreigners and their economic activity in the country and how they were affecting the current social phenomenon of South Africa, why do you think that many people thought that he said they must go and attack foreigners?
Our people are staying with a lot of uncertainty. They are facing poverty, unemployment, and all sorts of things. Any slight, utterance which might, make them to say, here now leaders have said this, they will capitalize on that. And indeed, on several occasions, we've said from CONTRALESA that we don't believe that the king might have said people must be attacked. It was, surely out of criminal activities of individuals who wanted to say, we have heard, even the king is aware that we are not employed, we are suffering, our businesses are contested by foreigners. Contestation should not be seen as something that we targeted at anyone. We must use it to strengthen our way of doing business. We must, think even beyond that to say, if they can do it this way, why not we do the same way and contest them, in a fair plane, a place without fighting them, killing them, attacking them. It's a barbaric way of doing things. We should refrain all of us from this kind of attack.
What do you think can be done to address the social imbalances, the inequities, the poverty levels that are in our communities, and coming from what the foreigners are doing in the country, because they're only doing business? And South Africans are saying that they are stealing their opportunities, which we wonder how. Because when you look at how things are playing out in the society, it's just business as usual for them.
I think much as of now should be about what do we do to stop this kind of barbaric, behavior? We do know that there are many things that anyone can raise and said we were, robbed by the apartheid regime. They denied us opportunity to, have a legal standing and then contest our peer groups anywhere in the world. But we don't want to go into that debate for now. What we need to do now is to say, let's all of us move out and said, let's stop. Nobody should continue doing this in the name of South African. South Africans are the peace-loving people. They love to, to engage issues. When there are issues, we cannot resort to violence, resort to, war and said it's a way of solving problem. This is a problem that we need our own politicians, our own civil society, NGOs, everybody to come together and said there is a need for us to develop a policy that will, enable all of us to manage the affairs of the country.
Just before you go, what do you say to a disgruntled, discouraged and despondent South African businessman who has things not going well and working out for him, and he's sitting there watching foreigners doing it for themselves? What is your message to him?
Look, we have seen that this thing of cooperative associations of businesses, it's working. Our people should learn to come together and then, buy in bulk, and they will get sufficient discount and start contesting these people. But continuously doing business on isolation alone in a certain corner, buying things like myself as I'm buying in any store, it will never work. We need to start changing and moving towards working together in building strong business that can contest anyone in the world.
That's a parting shot that I wanted to hear. Thank you very much for talking to us, sir.
You are welcome.
All right, and very quickly, let's take a look at how the markets have been performing, because the US dollar may have reached crossroads as we heard that job figures and wages are